What's up, guys? My name is Grimlust and I am here to show you a little bit about OBS. That is Open Broadcasting Software. The most common question I get these days is, what do you use to record? Followed by the question, how the fuck do I use this program? So I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview, just so you can get kind of an idea of what is what to help you along. There's a few different things that we can talk about, but first and foremost, we got to go into the settings, because that's what you should be doing, and that's where you should start. There's different tabs in settings: general, encoding, broadcast settings, video, audio, hotkeys, advanced, so on and so forth. I'm going to show you the important ones. This is what you need to get recording or streaming right away. Under encoding, you want to have your encoder set to X264. You want to use a custom bitrate, which is CBR, and you want to have your max bitrate and buffer size set accordingly. Okay? The max bitrate should be 80% of your upload speed if you're streaming. If you exceed that, you're likely to drop frames and people will start yelling at you. So if you're just recording, I recommend 4,500, maybe 5,500 kilobytes a second. If you're streaming, again, it's 80% of your upload speed should be the correct amount. You want to have a little bit of leeway for spikes in data. That way you don't drop frames. That way people don't get mad at you. Leave everything else on default. Okay? Now the broadcast settings. This can be tricky, but the settings have to be correct. You'll see that there's a mode. This is the first thing. If you're just recording, you can set it to file output only, but I don't recommend that because you don't have to do that. Leave it on live stream and then select your streaming service if you want to stream. The most common one for us gamers will be Twitch or YouTube. I recommend Twitch. You want to set your FMS URL to the nearest location to you. I'll open up this drop box and you can see there's different ones. This one happens to be the closest to me. Now, for streaming, this is extremely important. The play path or stream key, this is a key that is unique to your channel. And this key has to be within OBS, has to be input right here, or you're not going to be streaming. Okay? Leave everything else on default, but then pay attention to this. Automatically save streams to file. I recommend this. That way you don't have to worry about Twitch and things like that and exporting and blah 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 blah. That way you have your own recordings that you've just made. Now, having this enabled also makes it so you can just record at your leisure. Okay? And you want to set your file path up to the location that you want to put it in, and you want to name it whatever you want. Okay? For example, in this recording, it's OBS tutorial. Okay? Leave everything else at default. Don't play with it. And then we go over to video. Now this right here has the base resolution set to my monitor's resolution, the 1920 by 1080. Okay, aspect ratio 16 by 9, of course. Now there's resolution downscale. Pardon. There's resolution downscale. A lot of the times you might want to record just at 720p for YouTube. So the downscale is set to 1.5 for me, and that puts it at 1280 by 720, aka 720p. This right here, the FPS, is your frame rate. I recommend 30, or if you don't mind uploading a bit bigger of a file to YouTube and your computer can handle it, 60 frames as well. Now, I have this disable arrow. Oh, I don't actually have it set. That means this frame rate's going to be pretty bad, but that's okay. This is a tutorial video. If you're ever doing a monitor capture like I am right now, you would have that disabled, but we're not going to worry about it. Audio, this right here, you need to make sure that your desktop audio device is set to your current speakers. Whatever audio device is getting information sent through it as the default, you want this to be. That way OBS picks up all of your gameplay, etc., etc. The same applies to your microphone. You want this set to the correct microphone. Okay? If it's not, then people aren't going to be able to hear you, and that doesn't do you any good. Now down here, if you're on push to talk, which I'll show you how to in a minute, you want to have a delay on it. Well, you can set that here. By default, it's set to 200, and that works just fine. Now, the desktop boost, okay, this will enhance your audio. It'll enhance the audio levels, right? It'll increase the volume, is really what I'm trying to say. The same goes with your mic. I recommend doing a play recording, a test recording, if you will. That way you can actually see how loud things are, and then adjust accordingly. And then you have hotkeys. Okay, this is where you use push to talk if you want to, and where you set up your bindings. Okay, now here there's also the broadcast settings. This I can't recommend setting it up enough. To start a stream, to stop a stream, to start recording, and to end a recording. Now during a stream you can actually stop a recording and then start it again at any time. Okay, you're not limited in that regard. So set these up, por favor. Please do it. It'll help you. Now under advanced, I always have use multi-threaded optimizations. That way it tries to use as many threads of my CPU as possible, and that's a good thing. Okay? Now use everything at default here. Don't play with stuff because you'll really mess it up really quick. Now for video, this right here is a tricky little bugger. Now you see this, setting this value higher reduces the CPU usage by sacrificing certain aspects of quality. What this means is, okay, the higher you go up this list, the worse quality you're going to have. However, I haven't seen a rig be able to handle fast or medium quality yet. So you'll have to have a very overclocked i7 to be able to go down in there. I recommend very fast or super fast. Okay? And that will set you up because that'll be decent quality. Absolutely. I don't even worry about this tab at all. The quick sync encoder, don't care. Browser, don't care either. The noise gate, however, if you do want to enable a noise gate, you can do so here, okay? And you can adjust the settings accordingly. From here, I'm going to tell you a little bit about scenes and a little bit about sources, and that's probably where I'm going to end the video. I'll make a follow-up video later on just to give you a more flushed out image of your options. But in this video, I just want to give you enough to where you can record. Okay? Now, scenes. This is the most important one. Okay? Your sources are inside your scene. Okay? Now for this, the first thing you want to do is right-click within your scenes box. Okay? And hit Add Scene. And then you go ahead and title it whatever you want. I titled this one Desktop, okay? Because I'm doing a monitor capture and it shows the desktop. Now within here, you have sources, and your sources makes up the image that you're recording. Now to add a source, you right click within the sources box, you hover over Add, and then you select what type of source you want. I'm going to show you 3 of these, and only 3 for right now because that's all that's really going to be relevant. First of all, window capture. If you're running a game in windowed mode, window capture is fantastic. Okay, you just select that, and then select from the drop-down window to go ahead and pick which window you want to record. And you can leave all this as default. Don't worry about it. And then that would pop up right over here. Okay? Just like that, nice and easy. Now that's window capture, and I'm going to show you video capture device because this would be like your webcam if you want to have a webcam on your recording. Okay, now the device selection, you would select whatever webcam you want to use. Not very hard, and you can leave everything else at default because that will work perfectly for you. Later on, I will make a little tutorial about green screens. But I'm not going to get into that now. Okay, it gave me that error because I already have that in my sources list. Now, the last one will be game capture. So if you have a game running full screen, Okay, you will select game capture and then you'll pick it from the drop down list. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. And then it'll pop up in your sources and it will be the background, just like right now I have the monitor capture as the background. Now I have to tell you one last thing before I let you go, because this will save you a lot of headache. Your sources are ordered from top to bottom. Okay? And I'm going to show you what happens. If you have your, for example, your game, which we'll pretend to the monitor capture is your game. If you have that on top, it's going to go ahead and overwrite everything. So I just turned on my webcam, but you can see there's no webcam here. I have my webcam control program there, but no webcam image. That's because the monitor capture is on top of the webcam. So what we would want to do is hover over order and then move it to the top. And then voila, the webcam appears right here. Okay? Now, that is how you go ahead and order things. Okay? The next step would be to resize them or move them, which you can do just by hitting Edit Scene. Okay? And as you can see, a little red box is now over my webcam capture here. And I can resize this all I want. I can make it whatever size, and I can move it wherever I like. Okay, and it even snaps to the corners, which is a good feature. Okay, and you can do that with anything you have, any overlays, anything like that. And you'll actually have to if you want to have a proper recording. So this is where I'm going to stop my OBS tutorial, and I'm going to say thank you guys for watching. I love you very much, and all the links will be in the description for OBS, where to get it, etc., etc. And you guys have a beautiful day, okay? Bye.